I went to a summer camp and I saw a dark room, and they took me in a dark room and it was all red and everything, and I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. So I liked that. And then I'm completely a social misfit, so I couldn't interact with anybody. So when everybody else was playing sports together and everything, I would go out to the woods. I had little toy soldiers, and I made up little war scenes in the mud and basically photographed that because I didn't know what to photograph. Like most photographers don't know where to begin. And bottom line is, I found I'd be with myself and whatever subject I was dealing with more than I liked being with anyone else. That's how I got started in photography. Okay, so I'm a photographer, and I've been in Chicago for 6 years photographing, getting my career started, shooting for the Associated Press, worked for the Christian Science Monitor as their Midwest photographer. I got burned out. It was war years, a lot of conflicts, a lot of demonstrations, and a lot of growing up too. 6 years later, I wasn't quite sure that the idiots that were at the demonstrations had a brain. Whereas in the beginning, I thought they were all like, wow, heroes. So everybody gets burned out. You grow up, right? So I headed west and decided to finish a master's degree I had begun at the University of Oklahoma. I only had 6 hours left on that master's degree. I finished it. I was getting ready to go back to Chicago, resume my career. Somebody called me from some place called the University of Texas at El Paso. Could you come down here in 3 weeks to teach a photography? We would be honored if you'd come down and help us out for a year. I said yes, and I was at UTEP for 7 years. But then I decided it was time to get back into the career, and where was I, of course? I was sitting in El Paso, which is an amazing place. It's a first world, third world, right there at the border. Huge stories happening. El Paso is a great place for anybody to become a journalist because there's stories you would never have in a city of that size anywhere else because of the border. So I covered it, and then I moved into a loft building 3 blocks from the bridge, and that was it. I realized I was not wanting to just pass through. I wanted to be part of the thing, not just be another who shot it, but be a photographer who knew something about it, really. So there I was, and I never expected it to go on this long, but I guess it's a lifetime project at this point. So I got involved because I was there. But it is a powerful and compelling subject. I mean, it's still interesting. I just finished a book called Walking Waters that I'm kind of feeling it. I got one last great thing to do in my life, and probably should just continue doing that. Photography will always be there because it does something very special that nothing else does. It unlike any multimedia, video, etc. Still photography freezes moments. Video expands moments. Video is narrative. Still photography. I put it like this. Video is more like a narrative book. It has a beginning, middle, and an end. Still photography is a lot more like a poem.